Carlos Nelson with Cascade Media Group, and today we're on our Arts and Entertainment channel. And we have one of our local people that grew up in Kansas City and hit it big on the big screen and not the way that you might think. Uh, been knowing this gentleman for probably 20 years, 25 years.
And we go
Uh,
back.
and
We
he's
go back.
been shuttling back and forth from LA to Kansas City. And he's got some big things happening here in Kansas City. Without further ado, film critic Shawn, uh, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that introduction. And yeah, yeah, Kansas City, man. Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas. I mean, you got to reference them both. Yeah, I grew up here in the Midwest, man. It was good times, man. I always like to say I was born at the perfect time, man.
Run it down from kindergarten
From
to
kindergarten, I don't remember anything. Only thing I remember
where you
about
went to
kindergarten.
school, that
I
type
don't think
thing.
I only thing I remember about kindergarten. I remember the name of the school. It was Switzer Elementary, and that was condominiums. It's on the west side of Kansas City. Only reason I went there because my mom taught there. And the only thing I remember about kindergarten is that was the first time I got stung by a bee. I don't remember anything else about that. I don't remember any. I don't remember kindergarten. I don't really remember first, second grade, third, none of that. Now I remember childhood experiences. I do remember my
What
love for.
schools did you go to coming up? When I say kindergarten, just
I was like, so my early days, I went to Switzer in the kindergarten because my mom taught there. And then I think first, second, third grade, I went to Nelson Elementary School right off of Rock Hill, which is now the Conservatory of Music for UMKC. That was back in the day because I was in this experimental classroom where we had like five second graders, five third graders, five fourth graders, five fifth graders, and five sixth graders, and like we learned on our own time, and we had a stage outside the room, and we produced plays, and we would draw comics. It was like a real like creative environment type situation, which I actually love. But that all came crashing to an end because of that whole desegregation ruling, and somebody came up with the genius idea not that it was a good idea to bus black kids to the poorest white neighborhoods because they thought that would help us get a better education, and it didn't. And the people out in Independence didn't want us there. And you pull up in the school bus and they're calling you nigger or nigger go home and
tell
throwing
our
rocks.
audience what years this were.
That
Paint
would have
that
been
picture.
about, oh, I think that was that 1977, 78. I just remember fourth grade, I started going to school in Independence because we got bused. Depending on where you lived in Kansas City, they bust you to certain schools out in Independence for some. It was a horrible idea, both educationally, culturally, financially, every way you look at it. It was one of the dumbest things ever done in the history of the United States of America.
And so
It was
out of
awful. It was a because it was an awful experience. And going to school with poor white folks is not going to make you smarter. It's not going to make you better off. They were just as poor and just as uneducated as some. Matter of fact, we were smarter. Like I was going to school. I was at Nelson Elementary School, man. I was like in the fourth grade. I was reading like at a 11th grade level. Like I was doing math at like a ninth grade level. Like I was already excelling and succeeding. I didn't need to go to some school full of poor white people and independence to help me with anything. Matter of fact, I was probably helping them. Like that. I mean, it was just bad. I mean, they did this in every major city in the US. It was just bad. It was a bad decision. It was a bad idea. It literally set black folks back even more. Like it just like
well, that was happening all, as you say, all over the country.
it was bad.
I'm from
It
New
was bad.
York, and they
It's bad.
we were living in Queens, and they was busing us to Astoria,
Yeah.
white neighborhood, and getting off the bus.
Hmm.
I'm I know that had to cause some mental health issues that
Oh,
subliminal. I'm only just in the sixth, seventh grade.
yeah, it's bad. It was bad. It was bad. To this day, I don't know anyone that I went to school with in Independence. I still know some people that I went to school with when I was at Nelson Elementary School. Because I mean it was. But let's skip
Where'd you go
past
to
that.
high school at?
Lincoln College Prep. Come
Oh,
on, man. Lincoln College Prep best. No, Lincoln College Prep, man, best high school on the planet. It, man, it did so much. It did so much for me, from an educational standpoint, from a social standpoint. We had great teachers. It was a great environment. Just a great
how
situation.
important do you think it was to have teachers that look like you?
But
Uh,
they didn't all look like me. Like the two most important teachers for me didn't look like me. Like my creative writing teacher didn't look like me, and then we had a class called television production, and she didn't look like me. But those two teachers were very instrumental in helping me establish what I really wanted to do. Once I discovered my love of movies and my love of TV and my love of writing, they really set me on the pathway to succeed. And they didn't look like me. Now I have other teachers that look like me, and that all helped. But the two main teachers didn't look like me.
well,
That
I know
I
that role models.
that I appreciated for the things that I love to do and the career trajectory that I wanted to take.
You knew what you wanted to do in high school.
Oh man, I knew what I wanted to do in grade school. Like I've always been in them. This movie thing's nothing new. I bought my first Super 8 millimeter camera when I was like in the sixth or seventh grade, but I was shooting my own movies in elementary school, middle school, all through high school. Yeah, there was never a doubt. And I knew I liked to write too. There was no doubt. I wasn't trying to be no engineer. I wasn't thinking about being a lawyer. I knew I didn't want to be. I knew what I wanted to do early on. And I stayed on that pathway. Like I mean, it hasn't always been easy, but I mean, I knew what I wanted to do. Yeah, there was never a doubt. Never a doubt. You can ask anybody that went to school with me. Like if you go and pull like old Lincoln yearbooks off the shelf from the years that I went, there's actually stories about me being a filmmaker and me being a writer and other stuff in those yearbooks. I knew I was locked in, man. I was locked on this. I was locked on this.
You had to be because I couldn't even see how one could think that they could make a living reviewing movies and things of that nature.
No, I mean, you don't think about that. Like, reviewing movies happen by accident. Like, I was like, I always grew up wanting to be Spike Lee, not the guy that talked about Spike Lee. Like, so, making movies and producing, has always been a part of my DNA. I mean, that's how I live. Like the film criticism thing is cool. Yeah, you can earn some money, but you can't earn no money. Like the money come from me like producing. Like I spent time working at Hidden Empire Film Group as a producer on major motion pictures. I produce award shows. I produce television shows out in LA. That's the money.
All
That's
right. Well,
that's the
see,
career thing.
our audience. That's the whole purpose of us saying
Right.
back to kindergarten. I've been knowing you forever. I look at you as a movie critic.
No,
Uh,
that's what people know me as because that's my most visible job.
but
Like,
I hate that. I hate
why?
that. And not just you. My stepfather was one of the original creators of Sesame Street, T.
Okay.
Collins. All right. And
So
he
what do
was
you
one of
hate though?
first black animators here in the country, and he was a great sculptor, painter, and
Okay.
everything.
Okay.
But people will pigeonhole you. That's what I
No, I
was.
don't feel like I'm not pigeon. No, I'm not saying I'm pigeonhole. I'm just saying.
No, I didn't say
So,
you saying that. I'm
oh,
saying me knowing you and
well,
not
that's how you. But
understanding that
oh,
you, uh, as you say, this movie thing is secondary because you wanted to. Uh,
it just happened. It fell in my lap. Well, it's not set. No, I'm not gonna.
it's
It's
not
not
secondary. Wrong words, but I'm saying to my audience, it's more
right.
like when
It's the key, baby. It's the
you,
key to open the door. Like if so, if I'm not on air at Fox like every day talking about movies or home releases or interviewing like who's ever making the movies, the actors or the directors or the producers, then I don't get that. I'm not going back and forth to LA. I don't get to network. I don't get to meet people that allow me to expand on my career in terms of producing or writing for a television show or working on the set of a movie or producing an award show or all this different stuff that I've done. That all happened because of my presence on Fox and because of the perks that are a part of that job. It has allowed me to meet different people and network in New York and network in Los Angeles and network in London and network in Hong Kong and all these different places that I've gone to frequently. So that helped to open the door. If I'm not on Fox, there's no pathway to working at Hidden Empire Film Group. There's no pathway to producing the celebration of Black cinema and television for the Critics' Choice Awards, which airs on the Stars Network. There's no pathway to working at FGW Productions, in which we did a lot of work for BET and TV One. There's no pathway to any of that without having the gig at Fox. And there's no pathway because being on Fox has allowed me to encounter people firsthand, one-on-one, like Tyler Perry, like Spike Lee, like Ava DuVernay, like Kevin Hart, like Jamie Foxx, like Will Smith, like all these people in the industry. And when you see these people over and over again, we're not friends, but there's we know one another, and you
You
can
have
approach
access. That's the
in the
main
circle.
thing.
Yeah,
Who
yeah, you
you
have the
know
access.
is your
Yeah,
currency in life.
yeah. You have the act, but you also have the access on a level playing field because when you're in the same room, then you're equal. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. Like if you're in the room and they're in the room, they know you're in the room for a reason. They know you're not just here. They know you're not a fan. They know you we're like business wise, we're all on the same. The same playing field, and that's how you interact with these people, and that's what's been able to open a lot of doors. So I'm always grateful for the Fox gig, and also being on Fox has helped put my name out there. Because sometimes you're watching TV and you'll see a movie commercial and my name will pop up, or you go to Target or Best Buy and you buy a DVD and my name's on the front cover. That's massive. That's massive exposure and huge credibility.
Hey, without a doubt. So, what is your project that you have going on down on 18th and Vine? Tell our
Oh,
audience a little bit about that
that
and
project,
how that came about.
man, that project is called Insanity. I don't know what I was thinking about, but no, we are. There's a team of us, and it takes a team. It's a mad. Hey,
I like
it's
that. When you say you was insane.
man, I was insane, man. Sometimes you can write some stuff down on paper, and it looks good. It is when you try to execute it, you're like, what are we doing? Um, First things first, man, you really can't do much out here in life without any money. Like you gotta have access to like like I tell people all the time, like you could write the best screenplay ever. Like it could be the best written thing in the history of the world. But if you don't have no money, you can't get it produced. Like you could have the best idea. You could say, man, we should build this building and it'll be great and we can do this and we can do that. But if you don't have no money, how you gonna get it done? So fortunately, this project we were able to get the money. It was not easy. So I'm part of the team that's renovating the Boone Theater, which has been around since 1920. It was a movie theater, a vaudevillian house, kind of served as like a hub for Black entertainment and culture in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. Um, as this thing that we talked about earlier crept in called desegregation, its limelight sort of faded. And at some point, it became empty. Then the U.S. government bought the building and turned it into an armory. I think it was an armory for what, about 2 decades, and then the building was vacated and been empty for the past 30 years. So we're going in and we're renovating the building. It's going to be an event space. There'll be a movie theater. There'll be some studios in it, some office space, and it's also going to be the home of the Black Movie Hall of Fame. It is currently under construction. It's about an $8.5 million project on paper, but due to inflation and these things called tariffs, it could probably creep up to about 10, 10.2, 10.5 when it's all said and done. We're hoping to open the doors either late 2025 or early 2026. The Black Movie Hall of Fame is not going to come online until February 28th, 2026. We're working on that. We just started a fundraising campaign so we can create the exhibits and create the educational component of the Black Movie Hall of Fame. There'll be two retail spaces in the front of the building. One of the retail spaces will be for the Black Movie Hall of Fame. The other retail space will be for the Soul of Santa. So it's going to be a really cool project, and it should really add some vibrancy and a beacon of light in the historic 18th and Vine Jazz District. And there are a lot of other projects that are coming online or hopefully coming online in that area, but I think we'll be one of the first. But we're going to have some really cool programming. We're going to show a lot of movies in there. That's going to be the main driver. We're going to try to do some first run stuff, some classic movies, but we're going to show a lot of movies, some student films, locally produced films. We just want to like have a gathering spot where people can come and watch movies like they used to, because there's really no place to watch movies in the hood. I mean, every time Black folks want to see a movie, they got to drive out of their neighborhood, past other neighborhoods, way out to 119th, or way out to Berry Woods, or way out to Independence, or way out to Olathe, or way out to Mission, Kansas, just to see a movie. How come we
I
can't go?
stopped going to the movies
Most people
because
have. That's
I,
why.
I used
That's
to go
why.
to the Plaza. That was the
Yeah, but
closest
that was the
one.
closest. But you had the Plaza had two. Well, at one point the Plaza had three movie theaters. Then they had two, and then you had a movie theater at Crown Center. The movie theater at Crown Center is gone. All the movie theaters at the Plaza are gone. Like no one's going to go downtown to Power and Light to B&B because the parking situation is horrible. So that's not really a viable option. I spend a lot of time at Screenland because North Kansas City is closer to the urban hub than people think, and it's a great movie theater. But no, we're gonna turn the Boone into a movie going hub because people deserve to be able to see movies in their neighborhood. People deserve to be able to like support something that's in their neighborhood. Buy concessions in their neighborhood, watch a movie in their neighborhood. Sometimes it's just about supporting your own, and hopefully we give people that option.
I think it's a wonderful idea, and I think it's really feasible, especially with the uh, housing projects that they're trying to implement. My
Yeah, yeah,
understanding, they're trying to have a black hotel. I
yeah.
think
Negro Leagues.
with that and what the Negro League has been able to accomplish, along with the team of Carmelita Williams and Dr.
Mhm.
Marge over there
Black
at
Archives.
at the Black Archives. Uh, I think now, instead of having these separate patches, I think we're quilting a quilt that really makes sense for the area. Those are all four of these things are jewels in the crown. And
Well, the problem, yeah, and well, the problem with all this new development, unfortunately, is I don't think any of it's going to be ready in time for the World Cup. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, we're going to exist. Black folks are here before World Cup. We're going to be here after World Cup, and you can't put all your eggs in one basket. The World Cup's not going to magically make everybody rich in Kansas City. I mean, that's just not how it's going to happen. But all these things will come online at some point around late 2026, 27, 28. The problem I have with Kansas City is in a huge Kansas City's in denial. The way we promote this city is just doesn't make any sense to me because everything that Kansas City is known for nationally or internationally has to do with black folks. Like Kansas City is rich with black history. Like what is Kansas City known for? Kansas City is known for barbecue. What is barbecue? Barbecue is black folks' food. I don't care how many of these white restaurant owners have opened up barbecue restaurants in the last 10, 15, 20 years. The origins of barbecue go back to black folks, go back to Henry Perry. go back to Arthur Bryant, go back to you know Ollie Gates. It's if you talk to Ollie Gates, he'll tell you, barbecue is black folks' food because barbecue was considered cheap food. It's black people's food. That's what Kansas City's known for. That's black. Kansas City's known for the Negro Baseball Leagues Museum. It's in the title, Negro Baseball Leagues. Come on, that's black. It's in the title. Kansas City, if depending on where you travel internationally, particularly like parts of Asia and parts of Europe, Kansas City's known for jazz. Jazz is black folk music. Like the origins of jazz go all the way back to Africa. That's black folk music. The people who are known, the pioneers of jazz, they're all black. Louis Armstrong's black. Charlie Parker's black. John Coltrane's black. Miles Davis is black. Jazz is black music. So Kansas City is known for barbecue, which is black. The Negro Baseball Leagues Museum, which is black, and jazz, which is black. But the city, they want to promote the city of fountains and all this silly stuff. Ain't nobody come to, don't nobody reference Kansas City and water fountains. I've been fortunate to travel all over. I've been to 6 of the 7 continents. I haven't found a way to get to Antarctica yet, but I've been to Australia. I've been to Africa. I've been to Europe. I've been to Asia. I've been to South America. Ain't nobody ever once said, I got to go to Kansas City because I want to see all those fountains. That's not, come on, we're not keeping it real. No, Kansas City's not known for fountains.
But the
Nobody's
whole
hard.
thing is, Shawn, you said this 15 minutes ago. You ain't got no money, you don't have no power.
Well,
You
that's
don't have
true.
no
You don't.
you
You
don't
can't get
have
anything done without money.
voice.
Right.
One thing I like about this youngster that has Ruby Jeans, Chris Good.
Yeah, Chris Good.
Chris got on him about the names of truths.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's trying to
with
change the name of the street.
yeah, with the Parks and Rec also when he was on trying to get some uh, truth to power on what's happening in our community and to our community. And we're taxpayers like everybody else. And as you say, we deserve to have movie theaters in our community. Now, uh,
Well,
about
we need
5
everything.
years
We need
ago,
everything. We need everything. We need movie theaters, grocery stores, gas stations, retail shops. Like we need everything.
about 5 years ago, I had Sonny Gibson, Elvis Gibson.
Oh yeah.
He liked to be called Sonny, but I had him on uh, talking about the history of movie theaters here in Kansas City. And he was talking about the Boone Theater and this
Yeah.
theater and that theater and the roughest ones in town and and all of that. And all of that's gone. Our
It's gone.
community,
Been gone. Been
yeah.
gone.
And that history is gone. And what you're doing now, I got a full understanding. You're bringing not just that history back, you're connecting that history to us.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the hopes. I mean, that's the hopes. Plus, people don't understand, Kansas City has a connection to Hollywood, like in movie making. And it's not
yeah, from
taught. People
Disney
don't
on
know.
up.
Yeah, people don't know it. People don't know it. People don't know it. So we're trying to bring all that back with this project, and we're trying to get the 18th and Vine Historic Jazz District to where it should have always been. Like I know it's been a struggle. It's been since 1997, and they can't quite get it. But I think right now we're on the right pathway to really making this something that can be comparable to the French Quarter in New Orleans, to Bill Street in Memphis. Like it can be a great destination, but it encompasses everything that Kansas City's known for outside of Kansas City. And we should be, the city should be proud of that. Nobody's coming to Kansas City for no fountains. Nobody's coming to Kansas City because of the Power and Light District. Nobody's coming to Kansas City because of the Country Club Plaza. They're not. They're just not. This is a city rich with history, and that history happens to be mostly Black history. That's what this city is known for.
And what I said, the 4 things that's going down, jewels in the crown. One of the major things you say barbecue, you come to 18th and Vine with all of that happening, you got some of the key Arthur Bryant's and Gates right right within walking distance or a short trip within a mile of
Yeah.
the the
Yeah, I
area.
know Gates is on 12th Street. I would love if Gates actually had a location in the 18th Divine Historic
Right.
Jazz District. But I mean, man, you take what you can get. I just, maybe they'll link it. I hear talk about expanding the streetcar. I mean, that's going to take years if they do that. But I mean, these things should have already been linked, and these things should have already been, like acknowledged. But I mean, you know, things happen when I guess they're supposed to happen, and so we're finally getting there though.
All right. Uh, on closing, what would you have to say to our audience?
Well, right now I'm just super excited about the Black Movie Hall of Fame. So if you want to check it out while everything's in the construction phase, go to blackmoviehalloffame.com. We're starting our fundraising component if you want to help support. We also have a retail shop. You can buy, t-shirts and other merchandise to support. We just want to make this something that the entire community is proud of. We want to make it something that the entire community can go and visit on a regular basis. Like I said, we're gonna show movies, we're gonna have programming there, and it's a really important component of the 18th and Vine Historic Jazz District. It's one of the biggest buildings in the neighborhood, so you can't miss it. So I'm just asking for everybody to come out and support. And I'm really proud of it. It's part of my legacy. Like I said, I've been on television for 25 years, and so this is sort of like the culmination of a really great career in movies and television. And we want to make this something that people know about nationally and internationally, because when I talk about it, the people out in LA, when I talk about it, the people out in New York, I mean, they really get excited about it. And, the first thing that comes out of their mouths is like, well, why is the Black Movie Hall of Fame located in Kansas City, Missouri? And I flat out tell them the reason why is because it's my idea and this is where I'm from.
Don't hit them like that, baby boy.
Got to. They like, why can't I was like, cuz it's my idea. This is where I'm from.
Yeah.
But that's the facts. That's
You
the
know,
facts.
my company, I think I told you, people back east have taken over my company,
Okay.
and
You've been doing big things.
I wasn't even gonna have a office here, but my lawyers, they was like, no, they can have those offices there, but this comes out of KC,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that has to,
Kenzie's dope.
yeah.
Kenzie, Kenzie's dope. I mean, I like Kenzie. There's a couple of cities in the United States that I love because like they're unapologetically black. Like I love Kansas City, I love Oakland, I love New Orleans. Man, I'm a
They're not like
unapologetically black
us.
city. Yeah, they not, man. Kansas City's a very black city, man. And that's not a negative thing. That's a
Right,
positive
right.
thing, man.
There we go.
Yeah.
That is the thing that how you look at it from
That's how
our
you look at it.
vantage point. And one of the things that I really like about your conversation, I'm a pessimist to a degree. You're an optimist. You said this stuff should have been done happen, but
Should
I'm
have happened.
thankful that it's happening now.
Do you
Everything.
know how many great people are connected to? I mean, when you got somebody like a Satchel Paige and somebody like a Charlie Parker and a Lester Young, and you got to remember, man, cats like Duke Ellington and Dizzy Gillespie and all these Cab Calloway, man, they wanted to come to Kansas City. Was a party town. Like
Yeah. Well,
people, Kansas City
I
was a
think
party town.
this piece that y'all are doing is going to add to
Let's
uh,
hope.
the our legacy as people of color,
Yeah.
and it's nothing like having a brick and mortar uh, in place to represent.
Because that turns brick and mortar turns non-believers into believers. So we're
Yeah,
gonna we're gonna be a believer. We about to be a believer factory. We turning all these non-believers into believers. We're gonna be a believer factory. It's gonna, like I said, I promise you, it's gonna be amazing because we pouring everything we have into it. I mean, hey, if this thing don't work, I'm gonna
no,
be living on my.
I think that you by yourself have accumulated enough knowledge about the subject matter that this was your idea and you making it come to fruition. It is not
Fighting for it.
if it's going to work. You've been waiting a lifetime for the opportunity to make this work. And I think I
Yeah.
don't know all your team, but I know I've seen you running around with Jason Parsons and a
Yep.
couple of
Yep.
others.
Yep. He's
Jason
on the
pretty
team.
much, yeah. I'm saying Jason
Jason's the
knows,
man.
yeah, he knows his way around and
Yeah.
what you need to do in regards to bringing these other people on board. And uh, me personally, I'm wishing you the best of
I
luck.
want to see you. I want to see you on Saturday. Mark your calendar. I want to see you on Saturday, February 28th, 2026. That's the inaugural gala. It's gonna be spectacular.
Well, I'm looking forward to trying to work with you as
You
this
will.
project
Oh, 100%.
starts to manifest itself.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Because it's
100%.
nothing like keeping the community, not just this community, the worldwide community,
Worldwide.
on uh, a where they can see the progress as,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
as
yeah.
it takes
That's
place.
that's key. That's key. And then at the same time, when we open, if the timing works, I got my memoir coming, so I'm telling all because people want to know what this whole experience was like. So I'm putting it down, I'm writing it out.
All right,
Crazy.
but
It's crazy. It's
that's
crazy out here.
that's what. Hey, that as they say, that's what's up.
It's
As
crazy
we
out here,
say,
man.
what's up, Kansas City?
There you
You
go.
gonna let them know what's up. So as we close, we always close with when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. Good night.
This is brought to you by Kansas City Business Association, working to improve our community.